From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Welcome into another show. I'm Bobby. He's Brandon.
Hey-o.
You can find us in the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's crack open this cold beer and let's get after it.
Ooh, that was a nice little right in the
this
the
one
old,
is what is this? Mama's Little Yellow Pilsner from Oscar Blues. It's a Bohemian Pilsner. I think I've had Oscar Blues before.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of some Oscar Blues. Let me test this.
Not a big fan.
Yeah, it's
all right.
Yeah.
Had better, had worse. I've had much better before. How are you this week, buddy?
Pretty good, man. I had a decent little weekend on the circuit, the betting circuit, as opposed to you. I think we flip-flopped from last weekend where you had a pretty good weekend and I had a bad weekend.
I broke even.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bad weekend when you're sharks like we are, okay? But going pretty good. Enjoyed our flick this weekend. Watched The Gladiator, bro. I hadn't watched that in a while.
It's a good movie.
So good, man. So good. But just,
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, I was entertained as shit, Russell. It was awesome. Yeah, I mean, it was great. Good weekend of football.
Great weekend of football, man. Especially as a Washington fan, ecstatic.
Well, technically, that happened on a Monday, not the weekend. Right, so, man, pretty good. How about yourself?
Pretty good, man. You know, like you said, just about broke even. You know, even my hedge bets didn't pan out. Luckily, I had one bet that kind of, I don't do big bets. I do like $3-5 ones. I had a parlay that, for $5 would have gotten me like $800.
Yeah. Gotta throw those in there.
With the first drive, because one of them was Antonio Gibson getting like 20 receiving yards. Normally, that's something to hit on. He went out with a toe injury in the first drive. But so other than that, but I mean, I had one. I think it was over the weekend. Won $20 off of it. So I think I actually ended up $2 in the green. So
nice.
Not bad.
I actually had as I just said, a pretty good weekend. I had a hit on a little $80 parlay. Last week I hit on some boost or something that they gave us. And also my aunt signed up, turning my aunt and uncle into degenerates as well. She signed up on my referral code. So I got $50 that I've been just trying to slowly chip away at and move it from my bonus money to my money. Yeah. So, So what do we got today, man? What do we got going on?
Oh man, today we've got some news. We've talking our holiday wish list for hockey. We've got a joke of the week, and we're talking Pirates of the Caribbean. Don't forget to check us out on What a Maneuver and Patreon to support the show. Let's get into the news.
Everything you need to know about what's happening on the ice. It's time for news from inside the boards.
All right, we got an update on the CBA talks. The stalemate on the CBA technically stands, but they are going to continue on with the season. So I guess the players won that one, at least for now. They've decided not to change the agreed upon contract when the league realized that they had no ground to stand on.
Because
their whole argument was, well, we couldn't have foreseen COVID companies. Like, you signed.
Neither could we.
Like, you do. Well, no, but both sides could, because they signed it, I believe, in April. When COVID,
we couldn't have seen this thing that's already happened.
So looks like they're looking for a January 13th start date, which is a little better. Gives us maybe 10 days to get drafts done. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna get everyone together and shoot for maybe this first weekend in January or something, or maybe I guess the second weekend in January, since the first weekend's the 2nd, I think.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good little weekend of drafts. So what do you think, buddy? You excited for hockey looking like it's going to come back?
Yeah, man. I'm wondering if they have decided to go with our divisions. I haven't seen anything on that yet.
I was in a meeting. I was going to put that into the CBA talks. NHLPA said they're not ready for that yet. So I gotta wait.
Well, it was, the tensions were high. 300 million was on the table. Yeah. They just weren't ready for us. Bettman said he'd get back to us. I'm sure. Okay. Well, cool.
That's about it.
Obviously excited about hockey coming back. Since we literally just had it, we're gonna get spoiled having basically year-round hockey with a small break during normal hockey time.
I don't think they realize January 13th is a little bit over a month away, and we don't know if we don't know yet if there's gonna be in-person hockey. And as a season ticket holder, kind of need to know.
That would be helpful. You got to plan your information, to have a schedule.
Yeah. And are they going to be taking my money soon? Because
right. They're I can answer that one for you, Bobby. I wasn't involved in any of those talks. Yes, they are going to still take your money.
Yeah. But because here's the thing: some owners have said that they would rather just not play simply because, unlike with hockey, they rely so heavily on ticket sales. It's not like the NFL, the NBA, where they rely mostly on TV deals. They rely heavily on ticket sales. So some owners have said they're better off not playing at all. So I guess it comes down to,
you don't want to hurt those billionaires' pockets,
know, right?
Yeah. Forget the little man. To be fair though, they're just saying that because I just looked it up. $2 billion 10-year deal for the rights. So
They were saying that like 6 teams would go out of business that they can't afford. And it's like, you need to learn how to budget.
Shouldn't be in bid. Yeah, man. Americans should have had 8 months worth of savings.
Bro, we got $1,200.
Yeah, that's true. When you gotta use that wisely. So the same thing goes for 200 million, bro. What are you talking about?
Like, we can't make 200 million last 8 months.
Oh, can you not? That's crazy. So, that's interesting to hear that you're not going to be able to afford this. Just go into your pocket, bro. Yeah. Maybe don't go to Starbucks.
Yeah. Maybe don't get those cappuccinos. Maybe don't get that avocado toast. I think it's time for them to pull themselves up by their bootstraps.
That's what I'm trying to say to this billionaire owner. Like, bro, you got bootstraps just like the rest of us. What up? Give us hockey, especially to people like yourself who actually pay for it. Literally have paid for it. You banked all this money that you didn't get to watch a bunch of games for. And now you're telling me, well,
but look at the shiny new reverse retro jersey we just came out with.
That's true. We didn't even think about that. Yeah. How much did they pay to have some guy do that? Yeah.
But all right, so let's move into outside the NHL.
Now that you know what's happening inside the boards, time for the rest of the headlines with news from outside the boards.
This one's dope.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got breakdancing in the Olympics.
Jabberwockies, your time to win an Olympic gold. Was there ever a breakdancer? I don't know when they decide I'm going to be a breakdancer in life. Did they ever think I'm going to win an Olympic gold one day? Just like, and is this like I guess some other countries have it, but like people like weird countries are like, what?
Yeah.
I got to get together a breakdancing squad. Now I'll tell you what I will be watching because of this. I am not a huge fan of the opening ceremonies. I think they're garbage and I think they put in way too much money. Just give me more sports. Although all the countries walking in with the breakdancers breakdancing in front of the country that they're walking in front of, that's going to be sick.
They all have their own little cultural twist to it.
That's what I'm saying, dude. What was it? America's Best Dance Crew?
Yeah.
You remember when that was like a whole thing where it's like all these dance crews that are around and enough to where we can have a whole competition for it? It didn't seem like it lasted long. But
they're like that, but bigger.
Now it's there. I just want to know like the competition style of it. Like what are they?
And first off, usually with sports, like before they get into the Olympics, there's usually some form of like successful, organized edition of it.
Right.
I feel like America's the only, maybe Britain too, is the only place that really has organized forms of breakdancing.
I was thinking France probably has
France
it.
For sure.
They definitely got some. I would imagine it's bigger than we as people that are not following the breakdance circuit.
Yeah.
Would imagine. But again, what they're definitely going to have is they're going to have some sort of Russian judge that's always like, everybody's like, well, that was a 10. And he's like, that's a 6.
I want to see, like, because here's the thing. Usually with breakdancing, you have, like, the most recent, like, hit music. Something tells me the Olympics aren't going to get the rights to this music, so they're going to have, like, off-brand. Or I just want it in silence. I want it in full silence. I want it to be as if when golf comes to the Olympics, and it's just everyone just...
My guess would be the Olympics itself wouldn't have to get the right. Maybe. And
I'm sure the Olympic Committee has to get the right to it.
I would imagine that the team has to get the rights to it. So like, bro, like Jabberwockies are like...
Honestly, I think NBC would have to get the rights to it to broadcast it.
Yeah, I would imagine that...
There's probably a lot that goes into that.
Though, as a person...
I mean,
with your rights, like you're going to give it to look. America wants the right.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? The whole world is watching and listening to your music while this dude spins on his head. Like, like obviously you can use. But this also, music.
Like how, like, because it's so breakdance. I feel is going to be so subjective. Like, obviously, like with gymnastics, there's like form and like you have to hit this to do that. I'm sure breakdance is the same way. But if someone comes out there with a banger, if someone comes out there with like some 90s Will Smith, like, dude.
No, that's what, see, Bobby, that I already fixed that for you. That's what that Russian judge is there for. Okay. There's some people that are just judging off of this is dope. I'm going to give it a high score. And then that Russian judge is like, yeah, but his pinky was a little far out when he did the twist or whatever. I don't know terminology.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to get up on it.
And here's the thing. Usually judges are like retired from the sport. So these are going to be like 25-year-olds judging.
They're retired from the sport. It's just going to be like regular dudes that they like
you and like,
I saw you on the first video of that on that cardboard box on VH1 like 30 years ago, bro. Like you're in. Run DMC's definitely going to be there, dude. I think that should be the requirement. Everybody has to dance to Run DMC.
I think they should always have a celebrity get like Dr. Chang is up there.
Yeah, Dr. Chang, Simon Cowell,
Sinbad,
maybe Little Dicky, maybe one of us.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Little Dicky should be there just for some comedic relief.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be awesome. And you were talking about individuals on Twitter are upset about this.
Oh, yeah. Well, people on Twitter are upset about everything.
Always upset. And I was just thinking, those are the same people that would have been upset if it would have not been included. They're like, what are you doing? We got to get breakdancing in there. Yeah, the only dance crew that I'm aware of is the Jabberwockies. And that was like America's Next Best Dance Crew #1.
Are they even allowed to? Are they going to like? Is America just going to pull a dream team and just send the Jabberwockies and like everyone else?
Why wouldn't you? I mean, you would have to imagine like.
What country do you think is going to be the sleeper with this?
The sleeper. I'm gonna go with Chad. Chad is gonna send a crew in, and you're not even gonna know what hit you.
I'm waiting for like the whitest of the white countries.
Madagascar. They're gonna dominate.
Or something tells me like Japan will be dope.
Japan will be. That's
I feel
no
like
question.
Norway's gonna get up there, and they're just gonna start like whatever with the
polka, like polka dancing. Like
you see Germany comes out with their lederhosen and just an accordion.
I like see this as more of like a beer fest style of battle.
Which now that breakdancing, there is no reason why beer drinking competitions should not be in the Olympics. We've been training for this.
Never thought that we could be Olympic athletes, Bobby, and yet. This provides us with that small little glimmer of hope. The Jabberwockies still have like a website. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they still have Space Jam still has a website.
Well, right, but I mean, this looks. You can like buy tickets to them, Bobby. Like I'm gonna go click on this buy tickets link. They have. They're in 2020.
We found out they're the ones who actually
can buy official gear like their mask and their gloves and stuff, bro.
That's dope.
And a mask. You can buy a mask.
Here's the thing, though.
I said a mask, but I meant like the white mask. You can actually buy like one of the face masks that you would have to wear.
So here's my thing, though. The Jabberwockies, that's one of their call to fame is their masks. with the Olympics, though, I mean, how are you going to make sure that it's actually them out there and they're not
because again,
someone's gonna have to see their face.
You're allowed to bring in ringers, though, you would imagine, because it's the best.
Yeah, but you
best.
have to like be like on the thing. Like if someone gets injured right before, you can't just be like, "Hey, we're calling this like dude from another country."
Yeah, but I don't. Why? Who cares? Like, it's
because
break dancing.
It's the Olympics. There's rules.
It's break dancing. Hey, by the way, you can buy like their tracksuit that they wear. You want to know how much it would cost you to buy the pants and the jacket?
$230.
$240. That was really close, bro. It's $140 for the jacket, $120 for the pants. So hoodie, $95.
I know that because I've already bought it.
Their white gloves that they wear, $55 for some Santa
gloves are expensive.
Wow, yeah, sure, but they have Jabberwockies on there. But they got a walk shop. That's what they call their shop. Whole lot. There's something called the rabbit hole. I'm going down it. So
I'm excited for this.
I am too. And the biggest thing that I'm excited for, Bobby, is it yet again proves that the Summer Olympics reign dominant over the Winter Olympics.
I think I'll give that to you now.
You got to give it up. I mean, look.
Now, I'm assuming that if beer drinking is going to be a winter sport, right?
Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, I would think it would have to be. You don't want to be
a dual threat and different kinds of beer for each season.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, like I'm the captain of the winter team because you got the Guinness and the stouts. Send you in for the Summer Olympics with the IPAs.
IPAs, bro. Yeah, exactly. So then we can still keep with our tradition. Yeah. As is tradition.
After this, there's gonna be a full Rocky montage for us training for drinking in the Olympics.
I guess we got to figure out.
We wake up every morning and like put 4 beers in a blender and just drink it raw.
we crack over. It's like the Randy Marsh. Thing on South Park when he's like training, he's cracking all those beers into a cup or eggs into a cup, and then he dumps it into the pan to fry them up. All right, breakdancing's in.
Yeah. All right. You put this on here.
So the NFL, My Cause, My Cleats was this weekend. I think it was part of the compromise that they came to when a lot of the Black Lives Matter thing was happening earlier this year. Bunch of cool cleats that you saw out there. They're going to auction them off and they're able to give them to whatever cause that they wanted. Patrick Mahomes did his with like a bunch of people that are a bunch of at-risk youths that are in the community. And so they get submitted. They all submitted their ideas of what they wanted on the cleats. And so that was pretty cool. It was good to get a little flavor. And, you would be amazed, Bobby. It affected football 0. So it's really weird that it was.
The biggest inconvenience is occasionally when someone has a yellow cleat, you're like, oh, is that a flag? No, it's not.
Right.
Biggest inconvenience of the week.
And the problem was the Seahawks have always been doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, this was not new. Like, yeah, so that was super cool.
Those are like, man, that's always been one of my things. It's like, that's such from the NFL's perspective, an easy win.
Like something like the celebration.
Yeah.
thing.
Like, and they act as if, and I think, it's purely business where they're like, oh, I guess we'll give into this, but you guys don't get pay raises. Right. And then it's like, oh, celebration and those cleats, like nobody cares. Like I remember people when they allowed celebrating, people were like, this is it. Football's done. The NFL's going down. They're going to go out of business. The XFL is going to come in. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, It's been better for the sport.
Sure, buddy. Whatever, man. You just, again, that goes back to you're going to complain no matter what, dude. Some people just live on complaining. And I do too. Don't get me wrong. But just is like in a personal thing. Like, I'm not going to go online and complain about stuff. That's so stupid to me. Anyway.
All right. AJ Green reportedly not returning to the Bengals next season, according to ESPN. It looks like they will be separating. And at first, when I read this, I thought, "Oh, is he injured?" And it's like, "Nah." He straight up was like, "No, I'm not. He's not re-signing his contract." He's still one of the biggest threats in the NFL, dude. I mean, he's not as reliable as he used to be, but
just so injury laden.
Yeah.
But I mean, who wants to play for that franchise? I saw this hilarious tweet. That big scrum between the Dolphins and the Bengals this weekend.
Yeah, I saw people got ejected. I didn't get to see it, though.
It was like a big thing. There's punches flying, everything. Well, there's this picture on Twitter, and it circles in the background like the 5 offensive linemen, and they're like taking a knee. like well behind the big scrum, and they're like, look, the Bengals offensive linemen doing what they do best, not protecting anyone.
Yeah. That's wild. Like in a scrum like that, as someone who's played offensive line, there's an issue.
That's your job.
Like, yeah. Because there's been, like, I've literally gotten kicked out of a game because someone, but like, after the play, like, pushed my quarterback down. Like, we could have taken a fly, but I was like, no. Literally, your job is to protect your quarterback on and off the field. So I pushed that dude, and, like, I threw a punch, and I got ejected.
Always
but, like,
remember.
I protect my quarterback.
I always look back and remember the replacements. You know, when Shane Falco has his 2 guards, like, go out to that dude and is like, that's, you know, that's our guy. And that was outside of the event, like completely out, non-football related. So just ridiculous.
What a good movie.
Yeah, it is.
Dude,
it is a good movie.
When they're in the drunk tank and they start like singing and dancing, what a great scene.
Yeah, man. That's a really good movie, and maybe we should discuss it at some point.
Yeah. Gene Hackman kills it in that.
Yeah, I mean, in everything, bro. Gene Hackman is my dog, okay? I love Gene Hackman. Hoosiers? Yeah, bro.
When he coached the Preds? I mean.
When he coached the Preds and required 6 passes, my team's on the ice.
All right. I'm ecstatic about this
You're
one.
You're excited about this one.
Steelers suffer their first loss to the football team.
Enough can't be said about Alex Smith and how he's turned that team around. That defensive line is nasty. The Steelers had multiple opportunities to win that game and close it out, and they just could not do it. And for 2 weeks in a row, they've looked bad.
Yeah, well, they have and here's what people like. They've had a pretty easy schedule this year.
Yeah, like
their schedule is not, indicative of a team that for like an 11-0 team, I guess 10-0 team before this week. That's not compared to like the Chiefs 10-1.
Sure. No, I completely agree. They have a couple of decent wins on their resume, but not enough to show you that they were the best win team
is probably
in the league.
when it was against the Titans.
Titans, yeah. And I mean, they almost lost that too. You know, they almost lost that in the comeback. Deontay Johnson is ridiculous to me, man. He is one of the best receivers in the league on one play, and on the next play, he's dropping easy passes that he should. And Chase Claypool, you got to let that guy score to get your boy the first touchdown to let him get his money, dude. Why you not let me get my money? Anyway, that was just a poor showing by the Steelers, but nothing to take away from the football team in itself. Titans, and I know this is not on the dock, but with our main audience here, you asked a great question to me this weekend. Does this game say more about the Browns or the Titans?
Yeah, and we agreed on it. The Browns.
It says way more about the Browns. The Titans, even early on when we were getting the crap kicked out of us, they didn't look bad.
Yeah,
Baker Mayfield just looked great.
And I said it on the show 2 weeks ago. I'm still a Baker Mayfield believer. He is obviously still very young. He's still got a lot to learn. I think that of all the young quarterbacks and old quarterbacks that Cleveland has had over the past decade, he has been the best mesh for that team and at the right time.
Well, he's played more than half a season, so he's already tops of their list.
It's a perfect storm for Cleveland, and it goes to show you, man, like what that city has been saying for years. Trust the process.
Yeah,
and Cleveland is the perfect
but they've
example.
been saying it for 30 years. The process, you can't just keep saying it and then finally you have a decent quarterback and you're like, the process worked.
The Pistons are like, yes.
Tim Couch from 98 would like a word. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, I mean, this is a decent football team. I like Kevin Stefanski. I think that he's really brought a lot to that team and utilizes all of the skill positions that they've had for years, and they've never been able to pull out. Titans made that little comeback. They had them a good end of the game.
Yeah. But God, that's because Titans are a good team. Like, I think it's better for Cleveland, though, that Titans didn't just, lay a goose or, they just lay down and died, because it showed that the Browns were able to hold off a good team with momentum coming back at the end. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm ready to say that the Browns are ready to go to a conference championship game. But they're a second round team.
They're going to make a good showing for sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, anything can happen. We've seen Giants as a wild card team before go all the way, so it'll
really depend on where they land in the wild card race, because we do not have 2 byes this year.
Yeah,
the number 2 seed, which very easily could be the Chiefs, is going to play the last wild card team.
Yeah,
and that's a tough draw. So
I think that's ridiculous. Only giving one team the bye. I
like it. Do you added 2 more?
I think for this year specifically. They should give all teams and then let all 8 teams go in at once.
It added a mega. There's 9 teams now, so it added I think, right? It went to 8. You're right, yeah. But it added a mega incentive to not, because we get to week 16 and there are teams that get to rest players for 2 weeks. Well, that's not really an option anymore, because of the seeding process. So I actually really like it personally.
Now, let's ask the same question about the Washington-Pittsburgh game. Does that win say more about Pittsburgh or more about Washington?
I think that's a both.
I think it says I agree. I think it says a lot about where the Steelers are now. I think it says a lot about where Washington's going to be going forward in the future.
Right.
With a healthy Alex Smith, listen, Antonio Gibson's one of the best, young guys in the NFL, but the fact that they were able to do that without him, I mean, that's wild. Logan Thomas looked amazing.
He did. He looked really good. I would like to completely agree with your statement here. The thing is, Washington is still on the rise.
Yeah.
Even with a good up and coming team, you went up 14-0 at halftime. You've got to win that football game as the Steelers, personally. That's so I think it says a lot about Washington, not to take anything away from them beating a good Steelers team.
Yeah, they're not a great team. Washington's not a great team yet.
No.
And honestly, I wouldn't even call them a good team yet. They're
pretty good in their division.
Well, yeah. I think they're tied for first. Oh man, how about and New York beating the crap out of Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, New York's a good football team too.
Yeah.
That's a division.
The NFC East is sitting there like, how the turntables.
Yeah, that's a division that got a lot of flack at the beginning of the year, us giving it included. But again, it kind of goes back to, I think that says a lot about the Giants. But again, it goes back to that says a lot about the Seahawks too. They have not looked like the team that we saw earlier in the year.
I think it also says a lot about the NFL in general that, listen, don't
parody.
No, the term any given Sunday isn't just a term for no reason. Right. Like, you cannot sleep on any team. The Jets almost pulled off an upset this weekend.
I love how Adam Gase blamed. There was a bunch of quotes. Obviously, Greg Williams is a moron for sending that blitz in that situation.
Yeah.
But then Adam Gase said in a quote to someone, I was not looking. I wasn't paying attention or something. And then I look up, and then that's the defense we're running, and I'm so confused. First of all, your whole life is lived, Adam Gase, by blaming it on other people. But second of all, how are you not watching the last play of potentially your first win and got bamboozled? That is on you. Loved that, though. That helped me win a nice 3-game teaser that I needed the Raiders to win. So I appreciate Adam Gase being the coach there for this instance. He is a bad football coach, and he is just trying to push the blame to anybody and everybody except for him. Bro, this is you. You are a bad coach. But great football Sunday. 200th episode of Red Zone. Congratulations to Scott Hansen. That was...
dude hasn't aged. The little thing, like they showed, like him starting. I mean, he's got a better suit now.
Right. Well, he's like, we retired the pinstripe, and now he doesn't wear a tie even. He's just like, bro, I'm chilling, man. He does a fantastic job.
We should get that job, dude.
yeah, we would never be able to get that job, bro. Like Scott Hansen is going to have that job till he dies.
I mean, we could take over for Siciliano.
Yeah, I mean, anybody could. I would never go up against Scott Hansen for a different style of red zone, bro. He is amazing. So congratulations to them.
All right, let's get into our main topic. We've got our hockey holiday wish list. Pretty much what we want most for the future of the NHL. I only
Happy
got
holidays.
Yeah. So let's. I'm going to start off with something small that has really affected the sport, I think, for the negative, and I want to eliminate the trapezoid behind the net. I think it's just needless. It doesn't benefit the game at all. The fact is, goalies now are amazing athletes. They're not the goalies of the 50s or the 60s. Let them skate out. If they want to, play a little bit, more defensive and go get the puck, let them do that, man. Let them skate around. I mean, I know Pecorine would love to do that, and a lot of other goalies would love to be able to have more freedom back there.
Yeah, that's a good one. It was not one that I immediately thought of when I saw it, but then I saw you had it on there. That's a good one. My first one is one that we've talked about pretty consistently, and I'll keep putting it on my wish list until it gets brought in. Change the playoff format. We need a 1-8 seeding in the division or in the conferences. It's so ridiculous that we have to watch the same matchups year after year after year.
My thing, I want a 1 through 16.
Yeah, but that's not realistic.
Yeah.
I want a realistic.
Yeah, 1 to 8
vote.
is yeah. More consistent offside, really, dude. It feels like at least every other week, if not more than that, we have a ridiculous whether it's a challenge where it's like they came into that side of the ice like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like they need to get concrete rules where, okay, if they scored a goal and maybe if there was an offside within a minute, 90 seconds, it can be called off or more or less. I mean, they just need to come with something.
I personally think that they need to play it like any other ruling. I like the fact that coaches can challenge it.
Yes.
I think that maybe there should be a time limit. Maybe there shouldn't, whatever, for that challenge. But definitely there needs to be some consistency.
Yeah.
That is the biggest problem that we have and also it should be one, if a team goes in offsides and a guy's not even involved in the play, he should be able to go check up at the line and go back in, and there never being offsides because he was offsides when they went in the zone, but he checked up again and they're clear. I think that But the biggest thing is what you said in the key highlighted word that you said there, consistency.
Yeah. And honestly, I get that these old timers, they don't want any form of technology, but I don't think there's any pain in putting some sort of sensor in the puck. No. And then literally, like, it doesn't have to be a big thing up in the arena where a big light goes, but somewhere in a booth, it just says, okay, it just crossed the line right now. That way, that's not the only thing they can, but when they're watching the video and it has timestamps and say it's behind a skate or something, or the camera angle's bad, they can say, okay, it crossed the line right now.
You know what I hate is the fact that no one cares what you think, old man. Like that's my biggest thing is like, if you don't want advances in technology, then you are welcome to go up to Alaska and watch pond hockey be played, bro. Like nobody's asking you. The reason that we get such great hockey and it's not like goalies wearing freaking large newspapers as pads anymore is because of advances in technology.
Yeah. I bet they had no problem with technology when technology won World War II.
Yeah, exactly. Not my point, but that's my point is the fact that I hate people that remember when. Wow, well, in my day, kids used to have to do this. Yeah, but it's not your day, old man. Like that's why we've advanced as a nation. And I'm not just singling out old men. I'm also singling out old women too. Old women do it, and young women and young men. Don't be a remember when, bro. We all have advanced life to make life easier on the group below us. Like, why would you hate your life so much that you want somebody else to have it just as hard as you did? Like, I've never got when parents did that. like you wanted your kid to have a better life, but then you get mad at them when they do.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's on you. You know, you should have taken them up to Appalachia and lived in the mountain if you didn't want no technological advances. Okay, my second one, and you added an extra one. I think that's a team one for us. 10-minute 3-on-3 overtime, bro. I'm not saying get rid of the shootout. Chill out, old man. I'm not eliminating the shootout.
Honestly, old man might be. I mean, they don't like shootouts. They think shootouts are a disgrace to the sport because the shootout's fairly new in the large scheme of things.
I didn't know when it was introduced, but I love the 3-on-3 overtime and boost that up to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that would be, we would get a lot more games decided on the ice rather than who has the guy that can shoot.
Honestly,
the best
listen, I love
shot.
3-on-3, and I think 3-on-3 should stay. I don't want it to be a sudden death, though. I want
play the full 10.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: if you're going to do a 10-minute, it kind of then has to be a sudden death, kind of. But if you're going to do a 5-minute 3-on-3, have them play a full 5 minutes.
Sure. Okay.
And then if
I can agree with that.
That way, because here's the thing: like I don't like sudden death in any sport. Now, I guess I know that eventually it has to be sudden death, and I get that. But like that's why like college football and pro football, I don't like it. Like,
college football is the exact opposite of sudden death.
Well,
everybody gets the same opportunity.
I thought eventually it goes to if they miss the first one, all you have to do is score a field goal.
Yeah, but everybody got equal opportunity.
Okay, but I don't want just equal. I want another. Give me another.
What is your proposal? Because eventually it goes to if you score a touchdown, you have to go for a 2-point conversion.
Give me another quarter.
College football.
Give me a fifth quarter of play, man.
College football has the best overtime rules of any sport.
Do they still do the start at the 25?
Yeah.
So that right there, to me, I'd be fine with the way it is if you do a full kickoff and not start at the 25. I don't like.
No, that's silly.
To me, I don't think it should rely on. I never liked the start at the 25.
But the difference is everything is absolutely equal.
Yeah, no,
everybody
I
gets the exact same opportunity.
And I'm saying that more from a viewer point of view.
And the viewer point of view, dude, it is literally it is something we don't get enough. Like I remember watching. And Arkansas, and I forget the other team, maybe it was Auburn. They went 9 overtimes, dude. You got 3 hours of extra football that was just back and forth and back and forth. I love the college football overtime, and I think that it's one of the rare, great overtimes that we have.
I might be off base on I guess I don't watch enough college football. I guess it
doesn't happen enough.
Yeah. But pro football, definitely. There should be no reason that winning a coin flip should give you any advantage in overtime.
Exactly.
That to me is the biggest bullshit. Dude.
Agreed. I see. That's what I'm saying. Whereas the advantage you get in college football means that you get to go second. Okay. That's a good enough advantage for winning a coin flip, but it doesn't give you the ultimate advantage. It doesn't mean you win, so there could be differences in opinions.
All right, let us walk around during a live puck.
Yeah.
It is, and here's the thing. I get it. I get that if you have if you're sitting in that weird middle ice section, where the glass is a little bit lower. But our seats, we're behind a net. So I get you may not be able to say everyone walk around free all the time. Yeah. But for the seats where it makes no sense. And here's the thing. If they were smart about it, listen, there have been times I've gotten up and they then make me stand up out of my seat. I'm at more, let me walk the extra 5 feet and outside to go,
get away from
safe.
The puck.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be safe here. No, I agree. Or at least let you sign a waiver that says, look, I'm cool with getting popped in the head with the puck because that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That's silly. That's probably more of a insurance thing within the stadiums than it is a NHL thing, but it might be NHL. I mean, look, we'll blame Bettman for anything, dude. We can blame you for it if you want us to. Let us know during the next CBA meeting that we are called to.
I'll shoot him a text.
Just text him. Hey, Betty. That's what we call him. That's what we call him. Old Betty. Yeah. Old G Betty.
Old Bets.
Old G Betty.
That's been a joke of the week.
The weird. Corey Perry. See, I don't like this. Wild. I think the first read was a good one. Now I'm overthinking it. Outlandish. Each sixth chick sat on a stick. Little tongue twister. And downright dumb.
You're kidding me.
It's time for the joke of the week.
Got us a good one here today, Bob.
Yeah.
The Ohio High School Athletic Association has released requirements for players and coaches amid the coronavirus pandemic. Wrestlers, they can wrestle. You're allowed to wrestle. You're allowed to roll on the ground, sweaty, put your arm through somebody's leg, almost touch their nuts. That's cool. You're still allowed to do that. After the fact, though, you are not allowed to shake hands. What? Look, man, it's one or the other, okay? Either you say no wrestling because obviously that's a lot of touching.
Yeah.
Or at this point, you guys can shake hands. Like, that is amazingly ridiculous. Besides the fact that within wrestling, the handshake is like a pretty big part of the wrestle. Like, after you're done, you shake the hand. And I mean, you know, it's not like on a team sport where you go through the handshake line or whatever and slap somebody's hand. Like, bro, like, you've spent 15 minutes expending a ridiculous amount of energy. Like, the conditioning that it takes to wrestle is so amazingly amazing that, bro, let these dudes shake hands or don't have it at all. Yeah. Don't be stupid. What a joke that is. Like,
yeah, it's well, you didn't read the small print. They got to do the nut grab instead of shaking hands.
Well, it's a tickle. It's a nut tickle.
Yeah. It's a sanctioned move.
Each wrestler grabs and tickles each other's nuts, and that's fine. Everybody knows that's cool as long as the hands don't touch. That's where the problem lies.
Yeah. All right, so this week, we skipped it last week. We're talking Pirates of the Caribbean 3 at World's End. It was a pretty lengthy movie. I watched it today.
You're a Caribbean guy, huh? I'm a Caribbean guy. I'm sure that I'm wrong. I'm not arguing
I think
with
I
you.
go back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, it's situational.
I like to think that I'm one of the other, but I in the past, I've literally died on the hill of both of them.
Sure.
Because I forget which one I am. I'm like, no, it's a Caribbean. I'm like, it's a Caribbean. And then at the end, I'm
you're fighting with yourself.
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
It's whatever comes out.
Doesn't matter. And, you know, that's not the point of the argument. The point is having the argument. Yeah. I want to die on one hill.
But I think I'm Caribbean?
I think you're mostly Caribbean guy.
Yeah, I think because I go on cruises and I've been there, that's what they say. So I think it just comes off.
Now, is it weird that like when we're talking about like going to like the Bahamas or something, I'm like, oh, you're going to the Caribbean? But when I'm talking about the Pirates movies, it's Pirates of the Caribbean to me. I think that's the difference here.
Yeah, when I said Pirates, did I say...
You said Caribbean. And I said I'm a Caribbean guy.
I think I want to correct I think when in the phrasing of the movie, it is Pirates of the Caribbean. For me, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it
sounds better than the Pirates of the Caribbean. One sounds like
you're just going on like a ride at Disneyland, and the other sounds like
Pirates.
You know, like, oh, okay, what up? Yeah, so continue. You had important information to belay to us.
Honestly, it was weird. Like, I found myself saying this movie's dumb, but then like this movie's kind of cool. Like, I think the first one was so pirate and fight heavy, and the second one was more lore heavy, and this one was like a good mixture between the two.
Yeah.
That here's the thing. I saw this movie when it released. This is the second time seeing it. The last time I saw it was when it released, I think in like 2011, 2010, maybe. And I saw it in theaters. I fell asleep for part of it.
I think it came out in, go ahead.
I know the next one came out in 2011, I think. So I think this one was like 2009.
Maybe so.
Maybe 2010. But I fell asleep when I saw it in theaters.
2007.
Wow. Yeah. So I fell asleep when they were right after Swan had become Pirate King. I remember that.
Yeah.
And then I woke up when they were fighting the Dutchman in like the whirlpool. So I had no idea what led to that. I thought it was like a tornado. It's
a maelstrom, actually, is what it's called. And that actually happens in real life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it's like a that's
no,
what,
no. When I watched it,
I was
literally
like,
called a maelstrom.
Yeah. When I watched it, I was like, oh, this is like they got caught in a storm or like a bad storm or something weird. And because I think I'd also missed, I think I go to the bathroom when they found the Kraken. When they found the Kraken on the shore. So I was like, oh, this is the Kraken doing its thing. And I'm like, oh, the Kraken's dead. And they never really explained why the Kraken's dead, did they? Because
I think
Jones?
they killed it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Well, they never really. Yeah. I guess
no idea.
Johnny Depp killed it. I guess when he went
died. Yeah,
in. Yeah. I feel like
I think that
like,
he went to the land of the dead or whatever. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So the
science.
Yeah. So the waterfall was them going to the land of the dead. I assume it was the portal to the land of the dead.
So, or like this, like I guess like a purgatory-esque type of deal.
Yeah. Okay.
No clue.
Science.
Yeah. I mean, science explains it, Bobby.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it was an overall good movie. I guess I'm excited for the next one.
Yeah, I'm excited for the next one. I think it's like kind of like off on its own, though. I don't think I get.
So
my
they're
boy,
not going after the Fountain of Youth.
I mean, yes, but I don't think it's like it doesn't need, you don't need the other groups. Like I'm sure like there's parts of it, but like I think like my boy Will Turner, he's out. Is now I don't know. You know, I'm not too familiar.
I'm really upset. Like I didn't like Davy Jones' death in this. I didn't
like his face. So
I thought I guess I kind of was expecting him to get a redeeming arc, like where he like gets turned like he does something nice and then he turns into actually Bill Nye and he's like, oh, he's gonna go spend the rest of his life with Calypso.
No, he had to die. That was pretty clear throughout the last two movies, Bobby. He had to die. That was the only way he was no longer Davy Jones, was death.
Well, I knew he was going to be Davy Jones, but I thought maybe he like accepted that he has to be the ferryman now and take care of the dead.
I think once that you grow tentacles on your face, there is no ferrying. You can't ferry anymore. I really, really enjoyed this one. I think that it was definitely different than Pirates 1. It was a lot better than Pirates 2, though.
Oh, yeah.
What I mean, dude, the ship battle scene was one of the greatest fight scenes. Ian
McShane is in the next one.
Oh, my man.
Yeah.
My man. I think I do remember that because I think I've seen Cruz. Yeah. Was it on Stranger Tides is the next one?
Yeah, on Stranger Tides.
Yeah, I think I saw this one in theaters, but I don't really remember a lot of it.
I don't think I did.
Yeah. So, but no, man, it was super good. And didn't they get like married? Didn't Elizabeth Swann and Will Turner get married?
Yeah.
During a fight? That was awesome, dude.
Yeah,
Jeffrey
cool.
Rush was like, all right, whatever, I'll do it. Yeah, that was a really, really cool fight scene at the end. And also the scene where like they're walking on the sand to each other. Each party has like 3 folks. And I thought that was super cool. And then they traded Jack for Will Turner. A super cool movie. I really enjoyed it. A lot better than 2. And I think we kind of talked about it. 2 is just a great setup movie, though.
Yeah.
You know, 3 was not as good without 2, if that makes sense.
So I guess I missed it. In the beginning, Swan's dad was alive in the room. So I'm assuming that when he said something about order of execution, that was for him? Like they executed him? Or was he not really?
I think that they like executed, I guess maybe executed him, but like they destroyed the ships that he was on.
Oh, okay.
The
so
East
I guess
India
I didn't realize they were on a ship. I thought they were like in
I
port.
think that they were on a ship.
That makes more sense.
I think that they were on a ship, and then like that's when you saw the cannons like blow up that particular ship.
Okay.
Was the way I understood it. It was Friday night, and I had a few drinks. So, but no, that was the way that I understood it. But yeah, really good movie. It was, you saw it coming from 100 miles away that Elizabeth Swann was going to become the Pirate King. And I love the scene where he's like talking to his dad, the head of the pirate council or whatever. And he's like, how's mom? And he shows her that little thing. And she's like, she looks great. Yeah. Johnny Depp is just a killer in that movie.
I want them definitely to go back more into that. I want to see a spinoff of young Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. Who would play it?
I think you could just do Johnny Depp, honestly.
Yeah, but if you didn't use Johnny Depp, which a lot of folks are not these days, who are you going with? That's such an interesting choice, right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean,
let me hit you with this. Donald Glover.
I mean, he got super tan.
He is awesome actor. So
honestly, I would just want them to use technology to just use young Johnny Depp. Honestly,
yeah, no doubt.
I mean, they've got plenty of footage. I mean, it's not like when sometimes these actors, they don't have a lot of footage of that young actor. Like, you've got so much footage of a young Johnny Depp.
Sure,
they could do it and make it look
What
good.
if he just looked exactly like Edward Scissorhands?
Just really bad. And one time, like, you just see him like pull it, like he's got a thing, but there's like a knife on the end of his hand, just from bad editing.
So before we pull out of pop culture, are you finished with Pirates 3?
Yeah, I finished it today.
No, obviously finished the movie. It's not a series. I'm saying, are we finished discussing it?
Yes. I was like, yeah,
I watched it. Thanks, Bobby.
I just watched half.
Okay, so I did watch a little bit, and I fell asleep. I had talked about on this show never having seen Die Hard. I watched a little bit of it. I feel like it's one of those movies that was a lot better when it came out.
Dude, it's a good movie, man.
Yeah, I got to the point where like the German terrorists kind of take over the
So you got
the floor.
20 minutes in? If that?
It seemed a lot longer than
Dude,
that, bro.
you gotta get, like, that's literally like, that's like saying, yeah, I mean, I got to the point where like they introduced the character.
And I remember like waking up at parts and like he's like crawling around and stuff.
Dude,
like,
Hans is the dope. But you've got to watch.
You're talking about Snape, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed okay. I mean, it was.
He gets, yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna be honest with you though. I will watch it because I started it and I brought this upon myself. I am not very interested in watching it. So I'm going to go into it with preconceived notions of it being terrible.
It's a great movie. It's the best Christmas movie.
It is not a Christmas movie, and I will battle you. Movie. No, things that happen around the time
involving
of something
a
else
Christmas
happened.
Party.
But lots of things.
There's lots of Christmas discussions. There's lots of Christmas talk.
It is not a Christmas movie, bro. It has nothing to do with Christmas.
Has to do with bringing your family back together at the Christmas time, dude. Like, what is more Christmas and holiday than a family coming together?
Yeah, but I'll tell you what's not Christmas and holiday. Some jerk dad saying that his wife is going to fail and staying across the country instead of supporting
That sounds
her.
like most people's Christmases in this country.
Exactly. And I wouldn't consider most terrible people's lives to be a Christmas story.
I mean,
That's
Home
all I'm
Alone was
saying.
pretty depressing, and that's a Christmas movie.
I would argue that it is only lightly a Christmas movie.
Okay.
There's at least snow in that, but like it's not a Christmas movie. You know?
I disagree.
Home Alone is not a Christmas movie.
No. I think I've seen Home Alone once. It's a dumb movie, and it's a dumb
at
premise.
least there's at least snow.
Yeah, okay. You realize half the world during Christmas time does not have snow.
Yeah, but I live in America, bro. So like my Christmas movies have snow. Okay,
We live in Tennessee. We might get a white Christmas this year for like the first time.
yeah, but like the movies that I watch, Bobby, you gotta be very clear with what I'm saying. The movies that I watch entail snow. Okay, I will battle on the Die Hard. I'll say on a Home Alone. I think it's a good wintry time movie to watch, but I do not believe it to be a Christmas movie. Like if I want to get in the Christmas spirit, I'm not like, oh yeah, let's watch.
My biggest issue with Home Alone is that, bro, you can't make like, I get Home Alone 1 and 2. You can't start making like 6 of them. Because at that point,
well, that was
Child
the two
Protective
with
Services need to get involved.
See, on only the first 2 was Macaulay Culkin. The other 3 started with
different
new
kids?
kids. Yeah.
How many people like listen? Like,
There's a
how many
lot
people
of-
just forgetting their kids on vacation?
Lots of people, bro. Lots of people are doing
At
that.
that point, like they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, I mean,
like Kevin
obviously.
McAllister was just a shitbag, and that's why they left him.
That is my life, bro. Like I would definitely leave my kids home alone to go on vacation, bro. Like call CPS, bro. Take that little devil, dude.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids, dude.
All right, let's move into questions from the internet. I think you got 2 for us today.
I do.
I think I'm only prepped on 1, so I don't even know what the other one is.
Yeah, I didn't give you the other one because it's a pretty good one. So I'm gonna give you the one you know.
All right.
Would you rather spend the rest of your life blind or inside of an Olive
That's
Garden.
easy. Blind.
Yeah, me too. No question. Olive Garden is garbage and it's not great.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like family when I'm there. Okay.
No.
If I'm being honest, when you're here, you're family. Yeah.
But,
maybe
but do you feel like a diehard family?
yeah, that's exactly great point, Bobby. That's exactly how I feel. I feel like abandoning everybody and everyone that I know because it's so terrible inside of Olive Garden. It is just like LA to me if I was a New York cop.
We get those little Andes mints.
Yeah. Was he a detective? Also, by the way, going back, was he a detective or something?
He was a detective for NYPD, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was a detective, though. He wasn't an officer.
No, yeah, he was a detective.
Okay. Because he kept talking about all these open cases and stuff. It's like,
Detectives have open cases.
detectives do, but
Okay.
officers do not. That's what I was saying. Like, is he just a police officer? Because, like, bro, what are you following up on that bodega?
Yeah, he was a
shoplift.
and they go more into it in Die Hard 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, I think. But yeah, he's a detective.
That sounds ridiculous. It sounds like he's a terrible cop.
Oh, he's honestly as bad of a father as he is. In some of them, he's a worse cop.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
horrendous.
a great vigilante.
Yeah,
but there's multiple, like, and I think in Die Hard 6 or something, like, he just,
like, you obviously need to go and like call the real police that have jurisdiction there,
if
right?
you think that's wild, I'm not going to make you. I'm not going to expect you to watch it. Die Hard like 6. There was like a straight up cyber terrorist attack on the city of New York.
He handles it.
Oh, he's like, oh, we don't know who we can trust. Me, a guy from the 80s who has no idea how computers. I'm going to do this. And in the meanwhile, in the meantime, he like somehow rides a motorcycle to destroy a helicopter. He's destroying New York City like he's like Superman. And at the end, he's just like, yeah.
Can I tell you the best part of that movie though? Bruce Willis having hair. That was it. Yeah. That was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, he slowly starts losing it throughout the series.
Yeah, so definitely, look, I will eat Olive Garden. I think we've even talked about this. Yeah. But like, bro, I'm
not gonna eat that garbage as salad.
Spending my life there,
yeah.
Like endless soup and salad. Like, bro, go get
people. There are blind
car.
people. There's no people out there spending their entire lifetime living in an Olive Garden.
I agree, and like the advantages of spending time in an Olive Garden is not as much as like not being able to see would be to me. So we're in agreement.
Plus, you never have to be a DD if you're blind.
I love situations in which I had somebody that had a stick shift car. Perfect. If we take your car, I 100% cannot be the DD because I can't drive stick. Not that I wouldn't learn if I needed to learn. And, all these old men that already hate me are definitely going to hate me now. I just don't know how to drive a stick, bro. Yeah. I've never had the need to learn something I don't need to learn.
But those old men in a Tesla, they're like, oh, what do I do?
Right. Well, you put those old men with the TV remote. they're like, is this an AM radio station? Anyway, so we're in agreement. Be blind, overspend your life in an Olive Garden. Easy money. Okay, here's a good one. It's going to require some thought, I think.
Okay.
Who would win in a fight? Allen Iverson or Yao Ming?
Ooh.
That's tough because obviously you got a 7'6" dude with some good reach.
Yeah, but his feet are not reliable.
Allen Iverson is scrappy, dude.
I don't think it's as hard as we think, dude. Because let's say we're taking them at their prime. Yao Ming at his prime was still unreal. His feet had massive issues because of his size.
Yeah.
I think that, and we don't know how much power. It's not like it's Shaq, dude. I don't think he had much power. He wasn't he had his true advantage was his height. Unlike Shaq, who's like height and just a monster. I think Allen Iverson wins that easily. I think Allen Iverson takes a knee out, gets him on the ground, and it's over in the first round.
Yeah, I don't know about first round, bro, because the thing is, I think that 7'6", that's some reach, bro. You can reach nearly across the entire boxing ring if we're assuming that it's boxing. I think that a street fight, you're completely right, but there are no rounds in a street fight. If we're talking boxing, I think that it becomes a little bit closer Because again,
I was using first round as like a euphemism. Like, I don't think they're going to be out in the boxing ring in a street.
Well, I mean, we get to decide.
Yeah, boxing ring. I think it's closer, but it's Allen Iverson in a street fight. Allen Iverson ends it real quick.
Yeah, I think I agree. Street fight is no question AI.
Okay, so let's make it a little bit harder, and I think this one Muggsy Bogues versus Yao Ming.
I don't know that it
changes anything. Same premise.
Because
the reach becomes way more different.
Yeah, Yao Ming. Although I don't know that Yao Ming could bend over that far, so like it may go to Muggsy.
Yeah,
right. He's even trying to punch down, and like Muggsy's just running up under that punch. No problem. Like, yeah, I think that it's a little tougher because of the even bigger size differential. Let me look up how tall Allen Iverson is. He's only like 6 foot, right?
Probably like 6'1".
Yeah, he's 6 foot, bro. He's my size.
Yeah.
And so like Yao Ming is 7'6". How big is Muggsy Bogues? I think he's like 5'5", 5'3". So like that's a massive amount different, bro. Like, yeah, I think that Yao Ming
at that point they got to just team up and he put Muggsy Bogues on his shoulders.
When Nate Robinson is 6 inches taller than you a little bitty guy, dude. You're a little fella. So, hey, I mean, dude could dunk. He could definitely jump up and punch Yao Ming in the face. Yeah, but then I think that's where the advantage comes at Ming. Boom, right there.
But then he's taking a lot of damage on that fall. That's a lot. That's a lot of fall damage.
No, but see, he's always well, if he gets knocked back, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a more interesting question. I think that Yao could take Muggsy. I think AI's got it. But I mean, I think we've seen this kind of thing with like Rey Mysterio versus Big Show in professional wrestling. Yeah,
dude.
we have. So we absolutely have not seen it because that is not real, Bobby. I hate to burst your bubble. Santa Claus is more real than professional wrestling. Sorry to all the kids out there.
Yeah, spoiler alert for the kids out there.
Yeah, if you're letting your kids listen to this, you're one of those parents that would leave their kid at home alone.
Yeah. All right, let's move into.
Time to cast your vote. Vote your cast. Choose your pick. Pick your choice. Make a decision and take a side for this or that.
All right. I think you got one for us today, bud.
Yes, sir. Speak all languages or speak to all animals. This or that.
For me, it seemed hard at first, but I think it's easy.
I think it's animals. Easy for me too. No, I'm the opposite. I'm languages, bro.
Listen, there's a lot of people out there who can speak almost like all the languages. And yeah, I'm sure they are very famous within their community of linguists. But you know there doesn't exist? Someone who can speak to all animals.
Sure, but I would never believe the guy that said it, that he could speak to animals.
I mean, I'm sure there's a way you could eventually prove it, dude.
Yeah, but I would never believe him. 100% of the time, I'd be like, nah, you can't do it.
I mean, if you say something like, hey, Harper just told me she's going to bark like 14 times in a row, and then she goes and barks 14 times, and then like I do that same thing 6 or 7 times, calling it, I think I
could, ooh. But I could get her to bark 14 times in a row if I wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to use like, I don't know.
I do not. She is a completely nonverbal.
Either way, then, you know where I'm going, dude? I'm creating a massive army of animals, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's advantages to both. I'm thinking of like realistic advantages that I'm going to be able to gain from speaking all languages. I just feel like that's amazing.
I don't see how it would change. Like I would I could get like any job really that has to do with that, but at the same time, that seems a lot more work.
Yeah, but that's real. But see, like with being able to speak all languages, can literally communicate with anybody. There is no situation in which you can't communicate with people. Like, where are you gonna go? Just gonna go out in the woods and like, I'm gonna go talk to a bear. Like, dude, nobody
just
cares.
Being able to talk to my dogs would be dope. Like, just chilling with them.
Yeah, but like, what if you find out that dogs don't have shit to say, dude? They don't. They're not interested in conversation.
I got a great Pyrenees. He's got plenty to say.
Yeah, but like, what if it's garbage? You know, like, I don't know. I mean, it would obviously be cool. I just feel like the advantages. But to think if we team up though, you know, like you got the animal speak, I can speak to a German guy that comes.
The biggest
about.
thing with like speaking to animals is like, what if animals don't like? People say, "Oh, my dog said this," and like they actually don't sound anything like that.
No,
like or
they don't really have thought
what if
like we
dogs,
do.
What if I pick this? Animals don't even speak English.
That's what I'm saying.
And I start talking to my dogs, and they're like, "Je suis."
Yeah, you have to talk to. You have to
like,
ask me.
This is bullshit.
You're like, Brandon, what did he say? And be like, I don't know. I don't speak to animals.
That's like that kind of shit. Like if you get like 3 wishes from a genie, that's kind of shit that he would do.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a monkey's paw wish right there.
Or it's like, oh, you learn all languages, and then like the next day you go deaf. So you can understand all the language, but now you're deaf.
Exactly. And I was mostly thinking just like any TV show or movie or music that I wanted to listen to. Like,
there's a lot of foreign, like there's a lot, like for example, and I know all these people, like these hipsters are gonna be like, I haven't watched Parasite yet. That's a lot of reading. I don't want to watch. I get it's good, but I don't want to watch.
I'll never watch it. It didn't even seem interesting to me anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, Megan said it was a great movie, and I'm sure it is. It's got a lot of awards. A lot of people said great things about it.
Yeah, but I found that movies that get a lot of awards are most of the time just trash that they try to make this is so artistic. Yeah. Like, yeah, well,
there was one movie in a foreign language that I so badly wanted to see. It was like in Berlin, like if Hitler just came back to life in modern day Germany.
See, that'd be dope.
And he comes up and he's like Hitler. He's like, and then he quickly realized, and my dad wanted to watch too. And I started and I'm like, oh, it's in German.
See, I'll tell you the biggest advantage. Freaking Narcos, dude. Narcos would be amazing because who in their right freaking mind did white subtitles for Narcos, bro? Like the whole scenery's white. I can barely read this stuff, and like I don't mind. And some
season
subtitles.
2 was so many more subtitles. Season 1 was like a mix. Season 2, I got 2 episodes. I'm like, I can't do it, man.
And when I'm watching regular TV, I'm a subtitle guy. Yeah. I like subtitles,
but I have it there as an assistant.
I'm convinced that people that don't like subtitles just can't read fast enough, dude. And I'm not sad. There's no experience.
And I don't even use it. Like we watch like most shows with subtitles. And now I don't do it during sports. Can't do subtitles during sports.
No, that's
garbage.
Different. That's different.
So like those live.
Nobody wants to see what Chris Collinsworth has to say twice. Okay.
Or they're never right. Like those, like sometimes like a month. Like I want to know who's doing these subtitles. Like, or if it's an auto, why does you think that this guy just said pound $? Asterisk? Like,
he said that. No, I mean I'm a subtitles guy because then you don't have to like. What did he say? Well, just friggin' read it, dude. Yeah. You know, like, he
most
said this.
of the time we have to use it because I'd say 80% of the shows we watch there's an accent, and my wife cannot do accents. Even if it's like a very like, even if it's like an American, like a different regional accent. It's like this guy's.
What is this guy speaking? He's like, from New York City. Like
he's like, hey, I'm walking here. So I didn't understand what he said.
What did he say? What did he say?
Did he say he likes soup? I don't know.
Yes, soup is terrible. I hate soup.
New Yorkers and their soup and bagels.
Yeah, like what is this, an Olive Garden?
All right, we're running. This has been a pretty long episode. Let's move on to what are you binging? Why don't you start us off?
I have been binging Frank Sinatra's Holiday Music Station, bro. I'm a Christmas music cat. Okay, so
yeah, I like
it.
some Christmas music, dude. Yeah. Like for the most part, no, but I could definitely get on. Like Frank Sinatra, dope.
That's my dude.
Bing Crosby, good.
Great music is great music, okay? And Frank Sinatra is a great musical artist that will forever go across generations.
Yeah,
that he's amazing to me. So yeah go ahead.
Been watching a bunch of Vikings. Did you ever watch it on history?
I watched a little bit. It was okay.
I got to about season 5, and I was gonna get caught up because the series finale is coming up on December 30th. The second half of the season finale, of the final season, and I've been trying to get my wife into it for years, and finally she's like, "Hey, I want to get into it now." I'm like, let's do it. They're 45-minute episodes.
You gotta subtitle that. She is never gonna understand them Norwegians.
She still barely understands it, I think.
What is he saying?
Yeah, and so like, and the thing is, like, the first season came out in like 2010, so I forget most of what happened. So we're watching. She's like, "Can you explain this?" I'm like, honestly, I don't know what's about to happen. I get the main gist of it. I know who survives, and at one point, and straight up spoilers at one point. Well, I guess if you're past the first season, it's not a spoiler. His Ragnar's daughter's dead, and I'm like, and like she's like part of an episode, and I'm like, Ragnar doesn't have a daughter. She's like, well, she's right there. I'm like, huh. I don't think she. And I'm like, well, if that tells you one thing, I don't think she's important, or she probably dies. 3 episodes later, she's dead from like a from like a plague. I'm like,
she's died of the vid.
Yeah, she got vided.
Yeah. She got vided.
She died of the plague. But yeah, so but it's a very good show, dude. Battle scenes. I mean, Bjorn Ironside's dope. Lagatha's dope. It's a really good show.
Budweiser holiday cans, bro. I'm a gimmick guy, especially when it comes to like domestic beer that really have minimal differences to me. I like Miller. I like Coors. I hate Bud Light. But Budweiser holiday cans, like when Miller did the Vortex bottles, like that meant nothing to me, but they're dope and I got them. Okay. So they have some nice little collector's cans. I think I kept a couple, so I'll show you. They're pretty cool, actually.
That's dope. Is it like an ugly sweater almost, or?
No, it's like more like the old school.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, like more like old school, like the horses, and like one of them's white, and then like they have like scenery on them. They're dope, man. So
I love it. Over like about 2 weekends ago and some this weekend, drinking some Founders Breakfast Stout. It's a pretty good beer.
Just a bunch of eggs.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty dope stout. Not something that you can drink of like a lot. Like, I mean, I drink like a 6-pack in a sitting, but it's not something you can like drink like a shit ton. But it's a pretty good beer. But yeah, let's move on to Snapping Our Stick.
Bobby and Brandon are about to find out exactly what snaps their sticks.
All right, so this was actually going back to Thanksgiving. Troy Aikman refusing to learn, like he got corrected like 4 or 5 times not to say the old Washington football team name. And the first couple times, all right, it's a mistake. I've done it. A lot of people do it. But, when Michael Strahan did it at halftime, he immediately apologized, corrected himself, and moved on.
And that's one of everybody's allowed.
Troy Aikman the first time kind of like didn't like he was haha. And then he said it again and again and said it like 4 or 5 times. It's like, dude, that's like you're a commentator on a massive station. Like you gotta do better. Like first off, it's a slur. Second of all, it's not their name anymore.
Right. It's literally not the team name. Like, I agree with that completely. The Steelers versus the football team, their game not being broadcast across America, only in select area. Yeah. And there was no rhyme or reason to where they were being broadcasted either. Like it was like areas in the West, like there's small groups and it was broadcast in Knoxville. It was
so
Knoxville.
I figured out, I did some digging. I figured out why it was broadcast in some places and not the others.
Well, because we had to watch Judge Judy.
Yeah.
That's literally what was on, was Judge Judy.
So it's because DirecTV has a contract where they have to have an X amount of games on Sunday Ticket. That was their last game that they had to put on Sunday Ticket. So if you had Sunday Ticket, you could watch it wherever you were. There is a group of probably about 30 local Fox news stations that because they're local or because that region doesn't have. So if you lived in a region that does not have access to Sunday Ticket, you could watch it. We live in a region, we have access to Sunday Ticket. I think it's wild. I didn't realize there's regions you just can't get Sunday Ticket. You can get DirecTV, but they don't offer Sunday Ticket there, which is just weird. Yeah. If you lived in a region that has access to Sunday Ticket or you weren't a local,
you can't get Sunday Ticket in Knoxville.
I believe that their local Fox news station is an affiliate, is owned by a subsidiary that is based in Pittsburgh, and so that's why they could do it. It's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, I'm not excusing, but that's why. It's bullshit.
That's a good I would rather have an explanation of me still being mad.
Give us warning, dude. I was fully expecting to be able to watch it till 4 o'clock rolled around. I go to put it on. I'm like, why is Judge Judy still on? Maybe it'll click over. Or I'm like, it's not on the thing. Maybe because it's like a weird time they didn't put on the schedule.
Talk about a badass though. Judge Judy, she be wrecking it, dude. She wrecks some folks.
Dude, I find her annoying, dude.
She's very annoying, but like in an awesome way.
Like I like the 30 seconds that I had on when I was looking for the channel. Someone was like, "Yeah, I'm the plaintiff, and here's like my husband. He's gonna chime in with some evidence." She's like, "No, we don't chime in here, Mister."
But you don't.
I get that, but it's like
court.
it's not like she was saying, "Oh, he's gonna interrupt you."
It's TV court, Bobby. It's literally TV court. Like. I get what you're saying. Obviously, it's annoying. These people went to TV court. So, like, you have to expect some level of annoyance.
Like, where are you in your life where you end up saying, you know what? I've got a case. I'm going to take it to TV court.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be in
I can't wait.
Rough
It's
spot.
for in about 6 months when Judge Judy has Rudy Giuliani in her courtroom. It's going to be amazing.
Well, if he makes it there.
Yeah. I'm just
That's questionable at this point in time.
You've got a good one, so I'll let but yeah, my complaint was pretty much AT&T. Not just that, but you know, they've cut off regional sports, Fox Sports Tennessee from Hulu, Fubo, Sling, YouTube TV, all the other things. I could just make up a couple like woo-wah streaming service. And I mean, so now it's like I'm doing some research. I'm like, okay, cool. Where can I find it? I've got to get it through DirecTV or AT&T TV now. And I'm like, this is really annoying, because what's really annoying is when I cut the cord last year, and I specifically asked them, I was like, before I cut the cord, am I going to I need to know that nothing's going to be happening. You're not going to have anything that's going to affect me in the next year or two where I have to come back. And like, no, nothing's going to happen. I get it. The person on the phone doesn't know what contract's going to happen, but still, man, like it's ridiculous that the only way we can watch Preds games now is to have, like, we live in Nashville and we can only watch Preds games on
steal them online though.
Yeah, so that's a pain in the. And then I'm like 5 minutes behind. And here's the thing: if they have live games and it's safe and there's a vaccine out, cool. Because then I'm watching away games and I'll just get NHL Network or the NHL package.
Right.
But this is especially in a year when everyone's like being forced to pretty much stay at home, and rightfully so. Don't make it harder for us to watch our team.
The problem is, what they don't realize is now they can do it now, but it's going to come back to bite them after the fact. You know, like when everybody can just get up and go to the game or whatever, like,
or when bars open back up.
Right, exactly.
Because you bet that there's going to come a time like next season, if this keeps up next season when we can go out, dude, I'll be going to the Chili's or something. The only Chili's
I would never. Bobby.
It's the only one thing in Shelbyville that would have it. So
Bobby, frig that Chili's, bro. Frig it. Okay.
All right, why don't you finish us off?
So mine is the freaking psychopaths that buy absolutely brand new cars and present it to their significant other on Christmas. Like,
I was literally talking about this the other day. I was going to make it mine.
What in the world are you doing? Like, who just goes out and buys a $60,000 car and doesn't even consult their wife or husband?
And there's multiple levels of craziness here.
Are you joking?
First off, I don't get people who go out and buy brand new cars off the lot. It's dumb. You can literally go out and get a 1-year-old model that probably has less than 2,000 miles on it.
Sure. Situationally, the need may call for it. But
yeah,
for the most part, yeah, it's not a smart investment. But it's most certainly not a smart investment. And like, one that really wears me out is that dude that just went and spent like 120 grand of his and his wife money. And she's like, this one's mine. He's like, oh, I was actually gonna. She's like, no, this one's mine. Like, frig you. I want a divorce. Okay,
you do realize
a divorce.
This is on my credit because I didn't consult you.
I am clearly a sociopath, and so now I am planning a way to murder you. Yeah, and then I'll have.
And I'm gonna
cars.
have to need that pickup. I'm gonna need that pickup truck to put you in. Not to mention, though, you probably spent $500 on big bows.
Yeah, those bows are ridiculous. Like, it's just, you're a sociopath if you do
What's
that.
even more annoying is like, listen, I get the Ford ones, but like, I saw one the other day for like a Lamborghini commercial.
Are you sure? Lamborghini definitely doesn't do commercials.
It might have been a Ferrari.
Those big luxury cars usually don't do commercials. As like a marketing ploy, they don't commercialize. That's a
Rolex. I know for a fact I've seen a Rolex
You have
commercial.
never seen a Rolex commercial on TV, bro. That is literally, that's a business school thing. Like, those companies do not advertise on TV on purpose. They see it as lowbrow, and it is.
I'm pulling up Rolex TV commercials right now. The place that they track brands and commercials, 154 nationally aired TV ad campaigns for Rolex.
No, you're wrong.
Competition for Rolex includes Omega, Citizen, Movado. Yeah, dude, I've seen Rolex ones because those ones I know for a fact I've been like, that's BS.
No, you've never seen a Rolex commercial. I will fight it till the day I die.
Martin Scorsese did a Rolex commercial.
No, he did not.
Rolex had the best Oscars commercial with James Cameron, Martin Scorsese, Catherine Bigelow, Alejandro Giannotto. I don't know how to say his last name. My bad. But no, they did a. I can pull it up right now. There's a Rolex commercial for the Oscars.
Was it like during the Oscars?
No, it was like a commercial that you.
No, you're lying, dude.
Okay,
you're a liar.
You
heard it here first. Bobby's a liar.
The internet does not lie. First off, if it's on the internet, it's true. But all right, so even fine, not Lamborghini, because I was mainly talking about those brands. But even
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, a Mercedes commercial is still to me wild. Like that's at least $100,000 car, and you're putting that commercial out during a pandemic. Like, bro, we need $1,200. We just need another $1,200 check. You want us to go spend money on a brand new car? What's that face? What'd you find? Are we ready?
They do have commercials. I'll give it to you. I will concede.
Yeah, you heard it here. Brandon's a liar. All right, guys.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.